Hi, I'm Dave Cohn. Welcome to our video series for Professional GBS. This is the last of 4 modules on transformation management. In this session, we will cover change management. We will also share insider tips for transformation. We started with the fundamentals of what digital transformation is and why it's so important to optimize before you automate. Then we talked about finding the big ideas and tools to completely understand the problem to solve. In the last session, we covered the fundamentals of executing transformation. We talked about the value of a balanced portfolio and how to increase the impact of your transformation programs. We also went through best practices in project management. In this session, we will cover change management, which is so important to maximize adoption. I did a search for books published with change management in the title over the last 10 years. Can you believe there are over 1,000? Well, that's because getting people and organizations to change is crucial for business success, but also so challenging. There are many models to choose from, so we will share a broad approach to keep in mind for the human side of successful transformation. Here are the topics we will look at for change management. Why is change management so important? What is change management and the steps to successful change management? Studies show a strong correlation between good change management and project success. This is so important for a professional GBS. Just think about the impact on people as we bring work into GBS, streamline the way the work is done, introduce automation for efficiency, and bring in new solutions. Good change management is key for GBS to accomplish its goals. It allows employees to understand and commit to the shift and work efficiently during it. Without effective organizational change management, these transitions can be rocky and expensive in terms of both time and resources. Here's a definition of change management: transitioning individuals, groups, and organizations from a current state to a future state, typically as part of a project with intended business benefits. As a project manager or leader in GBS, you'll be a key ingredient to make it happen. You will often need business leaders to help you execute many of the changes. Steve Jobs once said, "Management is about persuading people to do the things they do not want to do, while leadership is inspiring people to do things they never thought they could." Let's talk about how you can inspire change. Here's a typical response to change. It may start out with fear or confusion, people asking, "What is GBS doing to me now?" There could even be rejection, denial, or anger. As people resist changes or refuse to adopt new solutions, you can waste a lot of time and money, as it takes you a long time to get their acceptance. Perhaps you are introducing a new planning system that will help improve business forecasting. However, your target users don't want to give up their Excel models. Until you get them to adopt, you won't reach your project goals. Let's talk about how to get people on board faster. So where do we start on change management? First, you can explain the context of where we have been and where we are now. Often, that step is completely skipped. As people involved in the project or change, just expect others to get it. For GBS, there are great reasons to promote, such as efficiency and competitiveness. Take the time to explain the context to the people that are impacted. Next, have people understand where we are going and why, and what does it mean for them. You may have heard of the term WIFM. What's in it for me? Can you paint a picture of why it's good for the company and why it's good for them? You will need to present a compelling case of the challenges and shortcomings of the current way to prepare them to separate and select the new or better way. Use overwhelming evidence, including real data, compelling stories, and clear vision. Finally, how will you get there? How can you bring a positive message to replace the potential negative chatter that your business may generate on its own? Let's talk more about best practices for change management in GBS. Our first step is to create a climate for change. Within this step, think about the following. Create and communicate the compelling future state. What are the goals that we are trying to achieve? This is a great chance to involve your sponsor to be part of the communication. Maybe this is all about being more responsive to consumers or making the company more competitive. What incentives can be provided to help them embrace the change? What messages will they react to, and how would they like to be communicated to? Leaders should communicate the coming change, acknowledge that there will be challenges, and offer up the idea that people should feel comfortable to share concerns. Talking about change helps to enact change. Align key stakeholders. This isn't only about leadership, but also about the key users in the organization. Maybe everyone trusts Sue, so make her part of the team. Identify people who have the most respect, who can set the mood for the office, who is called upon for advice and guidance. Get these influencers or change ambassadors first. With their vocal support, your change efforts can be accelerated. Manage expectations. Be upfront about challenges and what is needed. Invest quality time in one-on-one dialogue. Next is leading the change. Who's your team? What are the dates? Do you have representatives across the impacted area? When we were working on a marketing system, we went to our chief marketing officer to get a business leader to be part of our team, as we knew we couldn't be successful without it. Think big, implement small. Success breeds success. Stay in touch. Be accessible. Go talk to the people using the new system or process. Understand how it's going. Respond fast. Have a rigorous escalation process in place. Clear roadblocks. Our final step is to operationalize the change. You may have heard of the term launch and leave. However, for successful change, you need to keep your attention until it's fully adopted. Reward the behaviors that you need. That is another good role for your sponsor. They can recognize the heroes that are leading the work. Share these stories so the employees and the supervisors see the new values that result in success. Make sure you have new metrics in place to track the results that you want with the new capabilities. And if there are opportunities for further improvements, communicate them and iterate immediately. That brings us to a close on change management. It's a critical element when executing your transformations in GBS. So make it a priority every time. As we conclude our video series on transformation, here are some insider tips we developed after many years doing this work. Get the right sponsor and make them part of your team. It's more than a quarterly project review or monthly report to your sponsor. Involve them in your meetings for kickoffs and reviews. Share your prototypes and get their feedback. By getting your sponsors engaged, they will be more invested in the success of your project and more willing to help. Take your time to define the right problem to solve, and then take even more time. Fully defining the problem will lead to a better solution. Gain a deep understanding of both your internal and external landscapes. Often other companies have solved this challenge already. Reach out and learn. Go to Google and research. You can even reach out on LinkedIn to experts you find. You may be surprised about how many of them will respond and be willing to talk to you. Develop those visual mock-ups and iterate with stakeholders. It's a great way to ensure you are meeting requirements and it builds engagement. Keep your initial scope small so you can go fast and build momentum. Have a small team. A small team with dedicated resources always beats a larger team of part-timers. Part-timers can be pulled into other work, and larger teams spend more time on communications. Think in weekly deliverables and adjust. Drive a sense of urgency that every day counts. Finally, frequently check on your reason to believe. Not every transformation effort will succeed. Don't be afraid to cancel an effort if the upside isn't there. Learn and move to the next challenge. We hope you enjoyed this session in our Professional GBS series. All the best as you professionalize, modernize, and transform.